What's good, everybody? I am Brandon, and we got a buttload of Elden Ring news to talk about. Between the little gameplay leak we got over this last weekend to a delay, and all those little details in between, I got all this and more on another episode of Game Corner. I just wanted to say really quick, if you like what I do, please hit that like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Really appreciate it, helps out the channel. I won't waste your time anymore. Thanks for joining me, though. We got that 30-second leak of Elden Ring gameplay footage over this last weekend, and looks pretty rough. Obviously, I don't mean the gameplay here. I mean the video, stupid. The video looks really bad. I don't know why leaked footage always has to be this weird, grainy, UFO, extraterrestrial looking trash. But man, we just can't get like a good looking leak to save our lives. I kid. Of course, there's really not much to go off of here. Please take everything you're seeing with a grain of salt. This is very pre-release footage, and as far as we're concerned, nothing is really happening here. So everyone, cool their jets. Don't get too excited. We don't even know when this was shot or if this is official in any way, shape, or form. So please, remember to take everything with a grain of salt. The video is about 30 seconds long, like I said. It shows the main protagonist character kind of looking off over a cliff. You kind of see that tree of life in the middle there, or at least I imagine that's what that is. And then that character sort of hops around a little bit and walks up some rocks, and then you see some eagles kind of flying off into the distance. It's okay looking. I mean, for as bad as the video looks, you kind of get the gist. It looks very From Software, and I mean, let's be real. It's kind of what we'd expect from Elden Ring after the Souls series and Bloodborne and Sekiro. It looks just like that. So a lot of people have been speculating online that this footage is probably really old, which means that the gameplay could have changed, the animations could have changed, the world that we're looking at could have changed. All of this could not even be official in any way, shape, or form. So while it is kind of cool to get a little bit of behind-the-scenes look at what they're kind of working on and what they're doing over there, this really isn't much to go on, and kind of gets us into the bigger conversation here about whether or not leaks are a good thing. And I kind of think that depends on the leak and what we're getting and how it's all getting put out there. Most of the time, I would say that leaks are probably not a good thing. A lot of people spend time, money, and effort making sure that when people see this game for the first time, it's something that they want to purchase or that they want to play. And obviously, seeing really grainy, nasty footage of almost nothing happening on one of the biggest games that's going to come out next year is maybe not the best look for the game. Obviously, I don't think this is tarnished this game in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, it's going to be one of the most popular games to come out next year, if not the most popular. So, obviously for Elden Ring, I don't think this is that big of a deal. But we've seen other leaks in the past totally decimate games, and I just think that's something to keep in mind. Unlike the film industry, the game industry is still very secretive, and I do think there's a logistical side to this. Obviously, when you're working with technology and gameplay, you want to make sure that people aren't seeing your, cutting edge shit, so they can replicate it before you get a chance to put it out there. Especially when your game is running on this, that, or the other that, other games aren't running on yet, or they're using some sort of gameplay mechanic that hasn't been seen before, so on and so forth. And of course, there's the more personal side to this about how, these devs and marketers and stuff like that obviously put a lot of time, money, and energy into doing this, and I mean, it totally blows up their spot when people show bullshit like this off, It doesn't let them properly set up that time for them to show you what they've been working on. And especially with games being so complicated, I mean, showing someone the wrong footage at the wrong time can make it or break it for that game. As I always say on this channel, take everything with a grain of salt. That's all you can do. Obviously, leaks are going to happen. It just happens. Shit happens, You can't control what other people are going to do with information, unfortunately. We can hope to all hell that they're going to do the right thing, but people never do the right thing, so don't expect that. That being said, it's kind of neat to see some behind the scenes footage there. Even though it didn't show us much, it's nice to see that jumping mechanic being added in and kind of just giving us a glimpse of that world. Neat stuff. So I went on a pretty big detour there because this is kind of a big issue in the gaming industry, at least especially in the last few years or so. So I'd really love to know what you guys think about this. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you think leaks are good, bad? Do you care? Do you not care? Do you like this Elden Ring leak? Do you think it's just total garbage? Is this going to make you not buy the game? Is it going to make you buy the game? We got all sorts of questions to ask. Slap those down below. Anyway, moving on. I will hit the delay here in just a moment, so don't go anywhere, but I just kind of wanted to hit really quick on what we know about Elden Ring so far. So obviously we know that it's going to be a collaboration between Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin. As we all know, Miyazaki is the big mastermind behind the Dark Souls series over at From Software, and of course George R.R. Martin, George Railroad Martin, is the mastermind behind Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire. Pretty sick matchup, I gotta say. And obviously, me and a lot of other people were very excited at this prospect. There really wasn't much to go off of until last year at the Game Awards. We got a little gameplay reveal trailer, kind of showing off, gameplay, the horrific monster designs. I absolutely love their monster design over at From Software. Some of the best in the industry. The game is supposedly going to be open world with, it almost even gives me a Breath of the Wild or Skyrim feel. I really, really hate comparing things to Breath of the Wild or Skyrim, but especially from how they're kind of explaining the game with having sort of a central point and then the dungeon zones kind of spreading off from that, and then like a central boss being placed in each of those zones. I mean, let's be real, that's Breath of the Wild. that's what Breath of the Wild is, and I imagine this game is going to be heavily inspired by Breath of the Wild, at least as far as the world design goes. Some newer gameplay mechanics that they'll be adding are jumping. We did see this in Sekiro, actually, but it is a new addition to the more Souls-like style that we see with Elden Ring. There's supposedly going to be some sort of a Pokemon monster collecting mechanic. They're not actually monsters you collect, they're spirits. You collect these spirits, and then you can summon them when you want to help you fight whatever. You actually kind of have this mechanic in Bloodborne and Dark Souls. If you find like a headstone or something like that, you can summon that person for a little while. I think I did that in Bloodborne a few times to kind of help me with some bosses. So similar idea here, but I think it's going to have more of like a collection feel to it. You collect these spirits and customize them or use them for different scenarios. We're also getting stealth and jumping mechanics, sort of like Sekiro. I think they're just kind of adding those in to give you more options for engagements, for handling situations in this open world. They're kind of giving you more options. They're giving you more options. And last but not least, they showed off a spectral horse that you'll be galloping through this open world on. It looks pretty kick-ass, and obviously you're going to be getting some cool traversal abilities that will allow you to drive right up cliffs and jump over long distances. I imagine there'll be more stuff similar to that, but that's kind of what they showed off in that last gameplay trailer. And, I mean, that's about it as far as we know about the game. I could get more into the details about the story, this, that, or the other, but I'll leave that for you guys to dig into if you'd like to. There's a lot going on here. It is a Miyazaki game after all, so there's going to be a lot of contextual clues and cues into what is actually going on in this world, and it's all going to be very left open for interpretation, so that should be fun to get into when it does drop later next year. That's right, we actually got a delay. That's the last thing I got to talk about here on this episode. We got a delay over this last weekend. I'm curious if this maybe was because of the leak. Probably not. I think it just happened to line up weirdly like that. But we did get a delay from January 21st, 2022 to February 25th, 2022. It's only a month delay. This is not bad at all. Honestly, take way more time if you need it. That is they were like really sorry about it too. I love when it's companies like From Software who are like really sorry about delaying their game a month, and it's like, we're fine with that, dude. Make sure that shit's dope, you know? So anyway, very small delay. Basically in a tweet they said like, our game is too fucking rad and it's gonna take us a little bit more time to solidify all that super cool shit you're gonna play. I forgot honestly how soon around the corner this game is gonna be. February is gonna be a nightmare now. There are like 5 other games coming out that month, and whoo, it's gonna be a busy 2022. And just the little cherry on top of the ice cream sundae there, they're actually going to be doing a closed network beta here soon. You can sign up for that over on the Bandai Namco website. I highly recommend you do. In fact, I'll leave a little link for you down below so that you guys can all do that if you're interested. Anyway, that's about all the Elden Ring news I have for you guys today, including the delay, the weird leak we got over this last weekend, and all the little bits in between. This was Game Corner. I am Brandon. Please like the video if you like what we do. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and have a kick-ass week.